So, then I'm going to, David, did you have anything to add about our report? Are there any questions or any comments about the warden's report? No? Okay. The other thing I want to do, and it's not in this report, but I just want to mention those people that are kind of silent pillars of this church and all you do for the church, and you know who you are, but you're so appreciated, and the things that you do around here are definitely noticed. And I'm talking in particular about those folks that, Joanne, you come in every week and make sure the building's clean and orderly. You do so much. You do so much for Gathering Grace. For those that don't know it, Joanne goes out and kind of, like, she'll go to a garage sale and say, hey, if you don't sell this, our church would love to have this for the homeless. And you get lots of donations. She gets lots and lots of donations, and then she comes on her own time to pass those items out. So that's greatly appreciated. And then we have those folks that show up every week for Gathering Grace as volunteers. And again, it's just so appreciated. But those of you that do things here at the church, you are noticed, you are appreciated, and just many, many thanks. So I'm going to go on now, and I'm going to ask on each of these reports if anyone has anything they want to add other than what is written. So this will be the time for that. On the 2025 Diocesan Convention, Teresa and Catherine attended that, and their report is here. Do you have anything you want to add? Either of you? Teresa? No? Catherine? No? Okay. No additional info? Okay. In the Discernment Committee report, this report was submitted by Mark Mordew, but you'll see in here that Karen Sullivan was the chair, and then there were Cecil, Louis Gillespie, Catherine Mitchell, and Mark Mordew, and Max Nottingham. So let's have a round of applause for those folks. And did Karen get to join us today? Okay. Okay, thank you, Karen. And Karen did much of the work from Zoom down there in warmer Louisiana. So, but there is a very good, Mark submitted a very good report on what all they did. And then the stewardship report, that would be Teresa Curtis and Mary Mordew. Are there any additional comments from either of you? Mary, do you have any additional comments on the stewardship report?
I just want to say thank you to everybody that turned in your pledges. A number of people don't pledge usually, but you always get every Sunday or every month, and we really appreciate that too. The thing pledging does is it kind of gives the vestry and the budget committee an idea of what the finances are going to be. But we appreciate everything that is given, and you guys did a great job, and thank you very much.
And you'll see in Mary and Teresa's report that the pledges totaled $164,000, $164,190. We don't want to short that 190.
Yeah. And so we had lost some folks, so
yeah,
that was really appreciated and a blessing.
Yes, we were really very pleased because we did have some folks move away, and so it was very nice. And then Mary also did the hospitality report. She has been running hospitality. She is responsible for putting today's meal together. So thank you very much, Mary. And then for those that don't read your grace notes, Mary's also spearheading the Shrove Tuesday or Fat Tuesday pancake supper that will be the 17th. So be ready for that. Mary, anything else to add?
I just want to mention that today's brunch is the choir's only fundraiser. So
Okay, thank you, Mary. And thank you to everyone that did bring in food items today. The music report from David Blakely, the choir master, and Tim Lewis, our organist. Did Tim leave? Oh, sorry, Tim, I didn't see you there. Do you have anything to add to the report? No? David? Okay. David is still just thankful that I'm not in the choir because I cannot sing. I'm one of the few people that will lip sync in church. So, Christian formation report. That's been spearheaded by Pam Sabura. Pam, anything to add? Okay. We are still looking for other volunteers to teach Sunday school going into next year as well. So, Andy Bonnell leads us in morning and evening Zoom prayer services. Anything to add there?
No, we're still going along fine. And if you want to be added to the list, there are bookmarks in the narthex with all the information. Just email me and I'll put out a list. We are.
You know, a thought that I've had, Andy, is I wish we could get that information on the website.
Yeah.
Is your number different every time?
No, it's the same number every time.
So let's talk about that. I think that might be nice.
Okay.
If people want to, you know, if a new person sees that, they might want to join. So we'll get that taken care of. Servers report, Sandra Kelly is also enjoying warmer weather, but she does a lot of work for us every month trying to corral us all and get volunteers for different functions in the service. So we appreciate that. And then the Altar Guild, Joseph Farrell. Do you have anything to add, Joey? Where'd Joey go? Oh, there's Joey. Oh, said no? Okay.
Sorry, went through another voice drop. No,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay. And I know that Altar Guild and servers can always use volunteers if you're interested. Daughters of the King report, Teresa Curtis is the secretary and submitted that. And Pam is the president, Karen is the treasurer, Teresa secretary, and Steve has been our chaplain. So Teresa or Pam, anything to add to this report? Okay. Just a reminder, we go to breakfast once a month and we always have fun. And this month is Friday the 13th at the old Sunshine Cafe. Not the Sunrise Cafe. So, but DOK does a lot of wonderful work, and part of that is this year we did outreach for the East Washington Street Academy, and they've been so appreciative. And then, of course, A Better Way is another one of the projects, and Joanne, again, always communicates with The Better Way to make sure that we know exactly what they're needing for that particular month or period of time. Gathering Grace report. I think you probably have all heard quite a bit about Gathering Grace because that's what I talk about a lot. So I don't know that you have any real questions. You can see in the report how many meals we did provide. We usually have about 12 volunteers, and believe me, the volunteers are so appreciated because we have to wash the tables with soap and water and then with bleach water. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into it, let alone all of the cooking. And I would be remiss if I did not mention my husband, Joe, who does a ton load of the cooking, and Reed. So I think, Reed, if your PhD doesn't work out for one reason or the other, you can be a short order cook because you've got it down. But they cook every week, and I know Joe's favorite saying is, if you like it, Reed and I fixed it. If you don't like it, Mary and Connie fixed it. So It's not very nice, but. We also, the same group that runs Gathering Grace then is also doing a United Daycare food giveaway. And that is the fourth Thursday of every month. And it's kind of labor intensive when you first get there because the Second Harvest food truck comes and you have to unload this whole truck. And then as the parents come to pick up their children from United Daycare, they're welcome to take whatever their family can eat. So it's always very nice, but it's also a way we have figured out for Second Harvest to get rid of some of their produce that's close to going bad, because we will get things like a skid of okra. And then within and nobody wanted it. So anyway, but it is a very worthwhile thing if you ever want to volunteer for that. Gathering Grace served approximately 6,924 meals last year. So, and the volunteers worked 2,455 hours.
Wow.
So,
That's fantastic.
Can I mention one thing about the food distribution? That food distribution, it helps Second Harvest get rid of the food that they haven't distributed at their normal distributions. And we get a variety of stuff. There are frozen meats, there are fresh vegetables, there are health items like toothpaste and stuff. And there are snacks and drinks. It's just a big variety of stuff. So it helps Second Harvest get rid of stuff. It definitely helps the families that come to pick up their kids. They take away the food, and we're amazed that how much, it seems like there's so much when it first arrives, and 90% of it at least is gone by the time that, between 3 and 5, by the time they picked up their kids. The daycare center also, anything that's left over, they may take for their own kitchen. They're a little bit picky, but they do take some things. Like we had baby formula, and they took that right away. And everything else that's left, we bring to the church and either use for Gathering Grace meals, or we give away to the people that come to Gathering Grace. So there are 4 benefits there for Second Harvest, for the families, for the daycare kitchen itself, and for our Gathering Grace program.
thank you, Mark. Well said, well said. Yes, Joe?
Just a bit of number crunch. Sharing those big numbers we heard is important because it shows just how big it is. But if we break it down to a weekly number, that's 47, roughly, I rounded up just to make numbers easy. It's roughly 47 people hours to put into a Gathering Grace. Average 47 hours of work on a Sunday across everybody counting person hours. And that being said, if you look at the number of meals served, nice round numbers, that means every single week, if everybody's an average, we have 135 hungry people that come to this place and get at least a hot meal. And as far as I know, we're the only hot meal on a Sunday. That's just walk in, come as you walk. No strings attached. So, Second Harvest gets us 4 benefits and we benefit from it, and that's awesome. But it's great to hear the yearly numbers because that really shows the need, but the breakdown I feel is just so you know what that
Right, that is right. And there are other meals on Sundays, but they do have some strings attached. So not everybody likes to do that. So anyway, I'm going to now, if you don't have any questions about any of the reports, we're going to turn it over to Max. And I need to apologize to everyone. I had made some errors on the finance reports, and that's why we were late getting started, because we were making new reports and copies. And so Max is going to go over the finance stuff because frankly, you don't want me to. So anyway, I'm going to pass out the 2026 budget. You will see that it says 6th draft. This is actually the approved one. I missed the heading. So I apologize. I will correct this for that.
First of all, I'd like to thank the congregation for their generosity. It makes my job much easier. We had a very interesting, very good year. We had some unusual expenses, but overcame any shortages without touching basically any of our investments. In your financial statements, the early part of the reports, F1 through F1, F2 are income and expenses for the year by category. Then you have F3, which actually is a compilation of all the funds that the church has. Checking accounts, at the end of the year, we had $11,416. Savings accounts, we had in general savings $49,960 approximately. And we had a very generous offering to the church late in the year of $13,600 towards Gathering Grace. So basically that covers a full year's expenses of Gathering Grace. Any excess funds we have, though, I've put into savings in a separate pocket in the savings account, and they will, if you make a pledge to Gathering Grace or to a specific purpose, it will be spent on those purposes unless it would be changed for some reason by the vestry. So we do appreciate your generosity. We still have some funds from the Alpha Center liquidation that do need to be utilized within the community for similar type operations as Gathering Grace or items of that sort. We still have remaining in a CD some $18,000 as our portion of the liquidated amount from when Alpha Center was closed. We have established, it used to be we vested our excess funds in a memorial fund and contingency fund locally. Several years ago, we realized that the diocese has similar funds that we can invest in, and they pick up all the expenses of the investments. So we invest there, and I've included the totals on the page that's marked F3, and F4 and F5 actually have the two individual accounts. We have a memorial fund and a contingency fund. If you look at it, they've grown very nicely. We did not basically draw anything out of them during the year 2025. The memorial fund has grown from $233,000 to $275,000, and the contingency fund from $164,000 to $187,000. So the diocese has a committee that does review the investments, and Brendan stays on top of it very well. We do have a rector's discretionary checking account, and that is utilized by the rector to provide emergency needs for people within the community. Total assets of the church as of 12/31 was $560,000. We're very blessed, but that's not to say we don't need the income, but we do have great needs within the community. On the adopted budget, we do have a copy of it that was just handed out. It is a deficit budget, substantially deficit. It's been somewhat different in planning for this next year because we've been operating for over a year now without a rector, minister, and the supply clergy fees are substantially less. We're very glad, though, to have Pastor Don with us, and we're looking forward to her helping us get back additional members and whatever, additional congregation. I don't think I'll go over it line by line. We do have Okay. This past year on expenses, we did do some major, almost capital type repairs and maintenance. We did replace all these windows in this room, in the upstairs. We replaced the windows as well as the narthex out here. So those were put in. That totaled almost $40,000 in those areas. We also did, I believe it was during 25, the painting of the exterior. So your building is in good shape. In the last 5 years, we've put a new roof on the building. Most of the windows have been replaced, and the building and facilities are in very good shape. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll get you answers. Or yes, sir.
So just to point out, when you say we have a substantial deficit, what we're looking at are the very final two figures on all the information. That we
It's
have.
actually a little worse than that because we had included $17,000 up in the income
Right.
already coming out. So we're talking over $60,000 deficit.
Yeah, this shows a $50,000 deficit, plus it doesn't count the $17,000 that is being drawn out of the memorial fund to help pay for furnaces, isn't it?
We have some furnace units that we're going to be replacing this year. 2 of the furnaces are on their last leg, and those 2 total 17,000 or something dollars about. So, but we have replaced 1 furnace already, and we have more. Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
And this is also air conditioners and furnaces.
Right, but that's from the $17,000 that it shows we're drawing out of the memorial fund. This $50,000 deficit, whatever the deficit does turn out to be, will that come out of the contingency fund to cover it?
It'll be discussed by the vestry and determined whether it comes out of, if we actually incur a deficit, whether it comes out of contingency or memorial. Many of the items you could also justify against the memorial fund, since we don't have any plans for major building expansion or anything of that sort at this point. But your vestry does review it, and it's they're very wise and very frugal with your monies.
Comment on that, though, what we drew from it, really, because we had a good rate of return. We didn't dip into the principal, we just leveled it off again, so we're not making excess, which we don't want to do.
Right. Questions or comments on the budget or the expenses? I want to thank the vestry. They've been very adamant in their spending.
Yes, thank you, Max.
And they make my job enjoyable. You and the
I
vestry
wonder.
as well as the congregation. Thank you.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're about to wrap up, folks. Let me get back to my agenda. Is there any other business from the floor, Mary?
I just want to say Connie has worked extremely hard this year. Without her, she's been running the whole show, and we ought to be very grateful and thank her.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And as my husband told me this morning, just remember you're on vacation in 19 days. That's what I keep telling myself.
And David's been running her show.
Yeah.
He's been taking care of the building.
Yes. And for those of you that may not be aware, I am stepping down as senior warden. So I will no longer, after the February vestry meeting, I will no longer be the senior warden. But I still will be on vestry. So, but thank you all for all your support over the past few years, especially this last year. It's greatly appreciated. Okay, well, oh, sorry, Mark.
Just a couple of things. Besides Connie and David, I think we need to thank Max. I don't serve on the vestry or the finance committee anymore, but I know how many hours it takes him to do. He's down here at the church with paying bills and signing checks and balancing these financial statements every month. He's here every week for days doing stuff, and I think we need to thank Max for all he does. And I think besides Connie leading the vestry, I think we should thank our vestry too, and have the vestry members stand up so we remember who you all are.
And Pam Spura has just finished 6 years on the vestry and is stepping off now. But thank you, Pam, for all you've done. Okay, well then I think we're ready for our,
I was just going to say, I don't know if we've officially welcomed Pastor Dawn, and I was going to propose we all tell Pastor Dawn how much and how excited, how much we appreciate her coming, and how excited we are to have her lead us in the future.
oh my goodness, and then, I'm not doing so well. We have gifts for you. So you'll see over here, I was going to carry it over to you, but I'm not sure I can. So it's grown. But the basket has a variety of items in it. We're calling it your Welcome to Muncie, Welcome to Grace Pantry Shower. So there you go. So hopefully you'll find some really useful items in there.
Thank you.
Okay?
Please show Pastor Dawn how much we appreciate.
I'll be brief. I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of you better and to doing some good ministry with all of us together. So thank you. And I will be contacting people soon because I would like to set up visits with as many of you as I can. So as soon as I figure out all the diocese things that I have to attend and what my calendar looks like, I will be contacting you. So expect to get an email or a phone call from me.
Okay. Wait, Pastor Dawn. We have you. You want to do our closing prayer? We'll do this.
Sure. So let us pray. Almighty God, you sent your Son, Jesus Christ, to reconcile the world to yourself. We praise and bless you for those whom you have sent in the power of the Spirit to preach the gospel to all nations. We thank you that in all parts of the earth, a community of love has been gathered together by their prayers and labors, and that in every place your servants call upon your name. For the kingdom and the power and the glory are yours forever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all, and we will officially adjourn at 12:30.
What if somebody objects?
Oh, you can't object. No objections allowed.